Hey, what's good? We all have those nights doom scrolling for hours on TikTok, prolonging you from sleeping and forever deteriorating that sleep schedule. Seriously, I hate that algorithm sometimes. I tell myself one more video and then all of a sudden it's 4 in the morning. Anyways, the other night I was doom scrolling and stumbled upon one of those ridiculous TikTok original movies. I'm sure you guys have seen videos from big creators talking about them, but for those that haven't, they're basically these 1 to 2 hour long films that are broken up into multiple TikTok length videos for you to watch. They're usually these wild stories revolving a male and female, and the way it's portrayed is very cringe and low-key disgusting. But who am I to judge such hits like "My gangster baby daddy pampers me to paradise" or "Oops, I made it with my forbidden alpha"? The one I found for us today is called My Mafia Servant, and this is how I got introduced to it.
Thomas, neither father or I never wronged you.
Don't mention that old man again. You raped my mother and had me a bastard child.
Yeah, I had so many questions after watching this that I knew I had to watch it. Quick disclaimer before we do. The company behind this film is called Dream Shorts, and I found all their shorts on their TikTok page rather than their app. Their app wanted me to pay $20 for a week worth of access to the videos. What's crazier is that it costed $240 for a whole year. Dude, with that type of money, I don't know, I could go to a Deftones concert or maybe pay the bills. Like, imagine if someone wasted their hard-earned cash on this rather than their electricity bill. Fuck, I knew I shouldn't have bought that. On a real note, I thought I had to mention that because, bro, that price is crazy. One last thing before we start. If I sound off or congested, I currently have a cold while recording this, but the grind don't stop. I had to make this. Just wanted to let y'all know. Now, let's actually get into it, shall we? The movie opens up with Marco Denaro, the male lead, who's also known as the Slicer. A quick fact about him is that he is the head of the Denaro crime family in the town where they live. So when he walks into a small shop, it causes Sophia, the female lead, and her father, George, to be severely afraid. However, what Marco really wants from them is to sign a contract to give the ownership of their shop to him. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because he wants to build a casino in that exact location. Sophia then sticks up to Marco, and in response to this, he just pulls out a gun to her face. But instead of forcing him to sign the contract, he just shoots this owl decoration and walks away. You know, Marco, for the head of the Mafia, you don't seem eager to threaten others to get what you want. Obviously, I don't condone this, but all Marco needed to do was point the gun at Sophia after shooting the owl, forcing George to sign it. Imagine if all criminal activity acted like Marco. Bro, there'd be no need for cops. Hands in the air. Give me all your money. Okay, man. Here. I don't want any issues. Man, my shift just ended. Oh, hey, Tom. I didn't know you worked here. Are you going to see that Spider-Man movie later? I just got off the clock. I'm gonna assume that the precinct don't need you anymore. If not, let's go. All right, cool. Let's go. Man, I gotta move to a different planet, bro. Anyways, let's continue. Later that night, Sophia is driving and she states how they can't call the cops as they are corrupted by the Denaro family. As she's driving, thinking what to do, she then hits Marco with her car. And let me tell you, there's no way Marco got hit by this car. He looks like he just escaped from fighting a bear. Regardless, Sophia decides to help and takes him back to her house. Then, her dad walks in.
I think I hit him with my car.
What do you mean you think? You clearly hit him with your car. By now, you may have noticed that all the characters re-recorded their lines as they sound so close to the mic. There's even some scenes where they cut it up a lot so it would match their lip movement more. Funnily enough, to me, this makes them sound more like AI rather than them being clear. I'm just gonna assume that the guy who holds that boom mic was so invested into the story that he probably forgot to record their lines. Nonetheless, Marco wakes up, but uh-oh, he had amnesia and doesn't remember who he is. This causes Sophia to have the bright idea to keep him at their house in order for them to keep their shop. Which to me is honestly so messed up. I understand that he's trying to take their shop and all that, but one, if they took him to a hospital for him to receive the proper care, the Denaro family will probably say that they're forever in their debt. I mean, the Mafia is built off of loyalty. Witnessing these two practically save their head chief would mean something. Two, by keeping him at your house, the Mafia is only going to have their eyes on you more. But hey, what do I know? Maybe Sophia has more to her plan than we think. Oh, so she wants to be with him? What the fuck? I don't gotta explain why this is weird, right? But don't worry, it only gets weirder. As Sophia gives him new clothes, begins calling him Donald as he doesn't remember his name, and shaves his beard to better hide his identity, practically creating her ideal boyfriend. Which reminded me of the Disney Channel original movie, How to Build a Better Boyfriend, where the main character accidentally programmed the robot to be her dream boyfriend. Only this time, switch out the robot with Tony Montana. From here, the next episode features these two Denaro family goons kicking George to the floor. Sophia tries to stop them, but one of the goons decides to make a move on her. Donald then saves her, and Thing 1 and Thing 2 run away. We then see Sophia open an invitation to her ex-boyfriend and former best friend's wedding. Yeah, I know, that's beyond fucked up. If I received an invitation like that, I would turn into the Hulk and start going on a rampage. Clearly, any sane person would not attend this wedding. Her father actually convinces her not to go. But no. Donald thinks otherwise.
I think you should go.
Dude, why? She literally has no reason to go. That's like me attending a divorced partner's birthday and they're hanging out with everyone I don't like. So now, Sophia and Donald are shopping for a dress for the wedding. Unfortunately, the dress she found cost $3,000. What? If I'm buying a luxury piece of clothing for that price, it better come with a jetpack. That would actually be fire. Imagine arriving to events with that. Bro, you just steal the spotlight immediately. The store clerk offers to trade that dress for Donald's watch, to which he obliges, and Sophia's feelings for him grow even more. The next night, the two arrive at the engagement party. But before they go in, Sophia tells Donald to pretend that he's a businessman who started a casino and that they're madly in love in case her former friends ask. She then tells him to go buy the name Michael for some reason. And my question is, why? She literally shouldn't even be telling him this. No one's gonna know that Donald is a fake name given by her. This is where I started to feel bad for Donald. Not only does he have amnesia, he's put in an overly excessive situation. And now he has to remember a whole fake identity? Sophia, I'm beginning to think that you're the main villain of this narrative. Let the man rest. The two then walk in, introduce themselves to Victor and Diane. Victor and Donald then share a moment, to which I don't blame them because I look at them the same way too. The four then have a small yap sesh. Diane and Victor bully them a bit, and then they ask how they are going to build a casino on a street controlled by the Denaro family. This is where Sophia claims that Donald is a Denaro. So not only does she want the Denaro family away from her store, Sophia seems to also want to terrorize her former friends by any means necessary. This is further proven as shortly after this claim, her friends laugh about it, not believing her, causing her to say this.
The manager must know Marco. Guess I'll take some risks.
I love how she's saying this as if she's some world-class detective. It's obvious that she shouldn't even be putting herself at risk for little to no reason. Like, imagine if she went to Vegas. If I put it all on red, I could become a millionaire.
Guess I'll take some risks.
Fuck! Donald then leaves and this waiter tells the rest that their bill is on the house. This causes Victor and Diane to go batshit crazy, as now they are worried that they offended the great Marco Denaro. But what makes this scene truly legendary is that Diane says a line that completely disregards the previous episode.
Did you really offend him? Did he go to the bathroom? Or is it just pissed off by us?
This implies that Diane believes that Donald is Marco, when in the previous short, Sophia clearly stated that his name is Michael. And trust me, I triple checked to make sure that was right. Which leads me to believe that they were probably making the script as they filmed it, and they must have forgotten that part. From here, Sophia makes Diane and Victor pay for the drinks anyway and heads back to the car with Donald. They do something that'll make George angry, and we cut to the Denaro family. We're introduced to Cecilia, the serpent, who's Marco's fiance, Vincent, the pitbull, who's Marco's right-hand man, and Thomas, the what? They really couldn't give him any other name? Regardless, Thomas is Marco's half-brother. Vincent receives a call from the bar notifying him that they saw Marco. This results in the best Italian accent I've ever heard. Fantastico! Seriously, every time I heard Vincent talk, I couldn't stop hearing Mario, man. Cecilia and Thomas don't seem ecstatic upon this news. See, they were having an affair behind Marco's back, and both wanted him gone. as Thomas wanted to be the head of the Denaro crime family, and Cecilia just wants to be married to whoever's in charge. So her being worried here doesn't make much sense, but nothing really does in this movie anyways. We cut back to Sophia eyeing down Marco as they're cleaning. She then says this.
You are so sweaty.
Wow, you're so sweaty and stinky. I heard that you never shower. Can we go out? Like, gang, that ain't Riz. Anyways, she decides to head back to the dress store as she wants to give Marco his watch back. Before she enters the store, this dude does this funny little dance. Man, I wish every time I walked into a store, everyone would just do this dance. This is amazing, bro. Sophia retrieves the watch and gives it back to Donald. Thomas then enters the shop asking George if he has seen Marco. He lies to him and tells Sophia that maybe it's not a great idea keeping him around, which was apparent from the jump. Like I said, all they needed to do was just send him to a hospital. But of course, they still don't do that. Instead, they come up with a convoluted plan where she takes him to her uncle's old warehouse, leave him there, and call 911. Wait a minute.
There's really no point in calling the cops. Denaro family got them in their pockets.
So what's the point of taking him there? Just drive him to the precinct. Honestly, man, I don't know which family I would rather live with. Sophia's or Marco's. They're both terrible. Donald then saves Sophia from this gremlin. They then both go to the warehouse. Once they arrive, Donald's all like, "Why did you lie to me?" Then she's all like, "I had to. It's better for you. It's better for me. I thought everyone would be happy this way." Then Donald goes, "Oh, Sophia, I'm only happy with you." And they do the Yeah, I don't even know. The two then head back and her father is furious at Sophia. They then go back and forth, but uh-oh, Donald overhears everything, thus causing him to go on a self-discovery journey. He eventually makes his way back to the bar and reconvenes with Cecilia. She makes a move and, huh? What? How did Sophia get outside? It's like the film suddenly turned into The Conjuring. If I saw this, I'm immediately Sonic dashing into another country. Following this, Donald chases after Sophia. She gets mad at him for trying to remember his past, as if she's not the one preventing it. Eventually, Donald comes clean about eavesdropping on her conversation with George. Then he says this. Wait a minute, I just noticed that my pillows over here were knocked over. How long was it like that for? Alright, better now. I'm gonna continue the video.
You hit me with your car, but you also did save me. If it weren't for that mishap, I would never have met you.
That must be the most insane conversation starter I have ever heard. How did you and your wife meet? Well, she broke into my home, grabbed the knife, and stabbed my parents. I'm forever grateful for that. If she never did that, I would have never met the love of my life. Oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna go now. Bye. Ring, 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 ring. Your phone's calling. Yes, honey? You shot a reporter? You better don't go cheating on me now. Let's head back to the movie. The two then run back to Sophia's house. Afterwards, we see Thomas and Cecilia arguing because he wants to make sure that Marco won't become leader again. Cecilia mentions the girl Marco was hanging out with. This results in Thomas uninstalling George while Donald was helping him out. Then, Thomas shoots Donald.
It was nice knowing you.
Thomas, what happened? I've already shot.
Marco, wake up.
What is this goofy music playing in the background? That tonal shift was so random. Imagine they had that goofy music playing while the final battle from Endgame was happening.
Assemble.
So Vincent gets worried about Marco, causing him and Thomas to take him home. Sophia then sees her dead father on the ground. A week passes by and Cecilia and Thomas convince Vincent to leave the room so Thomas can finish the job. I just love how dedicated Vincent is to Marco. And Loki reminds me of Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi.
It would help me then, it would help her now. We don't teach these kids to fight with anger. That's not the Miyagi-Do way.
Once they exit the room, Thomas attempts to smother a pillow over Marco, but not before he wakes up. Also, I should mention, from here on out, he's not Donald anymore. He's Marco before the car accident. Not sure how getting shot at fixes amnesia, but one can only assume there's magic bullets going on in this universe. Upon waking up, Marco heads towards the shop and tells Sophia to sign the rights over to him once more. I forgot to point out, I love the fact that when he's Marco, he gets his beard back. It's like he can never be a mafia boss unless he has that beard. Regardless, Sophia isn't distraught that Donald no longer exists. More importantly, he makes it seem like he's the one that murdered her father, thus causing her to fight him. He then starts choking her, but suddenly stops as Donald seemingly is fighting for control for his mind. By this point, the film makes it apparent that this dude is stuck with the feelings that Donald had for her, which confuses me as to why he goes along with the story that he murdered her father and attempts to murder her multiple other times. You know, maybe that is how you're supposed to love someone, and I'm just understanding it wrong. Babe, I know recently your parents passed. Well, I just want to tell you that I'm the reason why they did. Can we get married now?
What? No! Get off my phone! We're done!
She just broke up with me. Since Donald keeps preventing Marco from murdering Sophia, Marco instead decides to keep her captive in the Denaro residency. However, due to her believing that Marco uninstalled her father and him trying to end her multiple times, she resents him from here on out. Pretty understandable, right? Well, it doesn't stop her from doing this. This is so gross. Bro, this guy has you captive and you're doing this? Look, I'm not trying to kink shame anyone, but if this is a real life scenario, please don't do this. From here, Marco saves Sophia from being slapped by his fiance. This is when he fully realizes that he has feelings for her, thus causing him to ask Vincent to look into what transpired between them while he had amnesia. Whilst this happens, Thomas and Cecilia have a discreet conversation on what to do about Marco. Cecilia asks him to not only finally finish Marco, but to also end Sophia's life as well. And you and I both know that's not gonna happen, because we're an hour into the movie and Thomas has failed every single attempt at murdering Marco. What? Yeah, someone please tell me how he's next in line to be the head of the Mafia. Vincent then returns to Marco, informing him about the Donald persona that Sophia created. He evidently gets mad at her. This is where I have to reveal a pretty important characteristic about Marco that I haven't said yet, which is the fact that he's a fake demon. Because even though he gets mad at her for using him, he goes off and makes her massage him, leading into the naughty. I swear, not once I've seen him act like an actual demon. He fails to threaten Sophia to give him the shop, keeps her around when a part of him doesn't even want her, and even fails to end her. Dude, a fucking Care Bear would have acted more like a demon than you. Anyways, I should mention this weird cut they did at this part, as right as they're about to do the naughty, Sophia is shown pulling out a razor. Then, in the next short, she's depicted walking in the backyard of the Denaro's house. Not sure what happened here, but I would like to think that razor was actually a piece of gum, because Marco's breath smelled during that moment. Hey, I'm just looking out for you, bud.
You are so sweaty.
Thomas eventually grabs Sophia as she's walking around. Marco then sucker punches him right before he gets to do anything to her. Of course, Thomas gets away with this through some lame excuse.
She was trying to get over the wall and escape. I was just teaching her a lesson.
You're really asking for it, aren't you? Get out of my sight.
Add obliviousness to the list of why Marco's a terrible mafia boss. Sophia then gets into an altercation with Cecilia. Marco intervenes and stops this fight. He pretty much tells Cecilia that the engagement is off. Cecilia then snaps back by saying Sophia is for the streets, which is just utterly insane because she's already having an affair with Thomas. In fact, in a few shorts after this one, she's seen in a bed with him. So Cecilia, if anything, you're projecting. You shouldn't be talking. Also, your breath smells. Go brush your teeth. You should probably get it whitened while you're at it too. She's out here looking like Fiona from Shrek. Also, now that I think about it, why does Cecilia hate Sophia? If her main goal is to be a mafia boss and she's having an affair with Thomas, wouldn't your main concern be to get rid of Marco? At this point, she's just an internet troll, man. Anyways, Marco does the ultimate mafia boss move as he flexes on his now ex-fiance by picking up Sophia and taking her to another room. Sophia continues to resist Marco, although they clearly have a thing for each other.
Stop touching me! I want nothing to do with you.
That's not for you to decide.
Dude, yes, it is! Cecilia and Thomas are now in bed and they're talking about how the engagement is now off. Thomas gets excited about this as he can be open with his relationship with Cecilia. She low-key ignores this and instead is worried about the situation. The next day, Cecilia helps Sophia escape their household. But obviously, this was a setup and she gets kidnapped by some goons. Marco then discovers that there is a rat in the family and some shipment got stolen from the rival gang. After, he gets sent a photo of Sofia for some reason. Honestly, this movie does a terrible job of making the De Niro family seem terrifying. Every one of them has the same IQ of a snail. Like Thomas, why would you have goons send Marco the location of Sofia upon kidnapping her? I get that you're hoping that they uninstall him, but bro, at that point just do it yourself. You live with the guy, it shouldn't even be that hard. Literally, this is how this guy would act if he became the Mafia leader. Boss, the Falcones stole our supply again. What shall we do? Man, I hate those Falcones. Wait, I have an idea on how to get rid of them. How about we invite them over for dinner? Oh, to poison them? No. That would be too obvious. Instead, we're gonna act very polite to them, and as soon as they leave, we're gonna call the cops on them. What? Boss, that means the cops will know where our base of operations is. Shh. Trust, the plan's genius. Why couldn't I be born into a different family? Anyways, let's continue. Trust me, we're almost done. Marco saves Sofia and begins regaining his memories. Then Sofia cries out, asking him why he ended her father's life. The best part about this scene, however, is how Sofia is bawling her eyes out at the end of this short, but in the beginning of the next short, the characters are in different stances and Sofia isn't even crying. It's just amazing how they didn't even bother to record this scene within the same sitting. The two then begin yapping about who ended her father's life. Sofia asks him to avenge her father, but Marco's all like, I will, only because I wanted to. Marco, I'm here to tell you, you got no aura, bud. He then passes out from losing blood. Sofia decides to take care of him while he rests. During this moment, he regains all his memories. More importantly though, he remembers that his brother is to blame for everything. Come on guys, clap it up for Marco. He finally figured out the obvious. From here, we're thrown into a situation where all hell breaks loose. Since the next episode begins with Marco tied up while everyone stares at him. Thomas then begins trolling him because he has the upper hand.
Nothing more but a stray dog.
Did he just bark at him? You know what? I'm gonna start doing that every time I'm mad at someone. The other person's gonna be screaming. I'm gonna be out here being like, rock, 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 rock. They're gonna think I'm Speed, bro. Regardless, what I didn't tell you about this scene is that it's all an elaborate plan set up by Sofia and Marco. You'll soon find out how I know this in a bit. With this information though, it is safe to assume that the plan was for Sofia to tie up Marco and hand him over to Thomas and Cecilia. Now, why am I speculating this? Well, it's because they never show how they formulate the plan. Despite how the plan was even made, it still makes no sense. For starters, Cecilia and Thomas set up Sofia to be kidnapped. And they're both not gonna question how she escaped, on top of that captured Marco and brought him back here. Secondly, Cecilia and Thomas both want these two gone. So why don't they just shoot them after seeing one is tied up? Lastly, why are they all dressed in black looking like it's a family meeting? Gang, Sofia just got here like a month ago. She shouldn't even be in the premises of this conversation. I am so curious as to how this family corrupted the cops in this town because all I'm seeing is that they're fake demons. If we're led to believe that this family is the Mafia, then bro, the Penguin is probably a god to them. Don't worry though, things get even crazier. As Thomas practically reveals to Marco that he's been sleeping with Cecilia as he asks her who she chooses to be with, since he is now the most powerful man in the family. Strangely, Marco has no reaction to this at all. This caused me to feel like I was missing something when I first watched this. Now I know Marco didn't care for her like that, but man, that's still your fiance that your brother hooked up with. Any sane person would be mad at that. But somehow it still gets crazier.
Come out!
You made a deal with the Kimura family?
Mind you, he's more mad at this than his brother sleeping with his ex-fiance.
Grazie, Thomas, for providing your whereabouts and schedule. Thought I expected you to be a gunner. I mean, you flew pretty high.
Huh?
Dude, what? So you're telling me that Marco here got hit with 2 cars on the same night and all he got was amnesia? Is this guy a fucking superhuman? You know, it's starting to make more sense as to why he's the head of the De Niro family now. He can survive getting hit by cars. Somehow, this pile of insanity keeps rising as we're finally up to the part that introduced me to this movie.
Don't mention that old man again. You're my mother!
Honestly, I have no words at this point. This entire scene feels like that one Moon Knight panel where he just throws random stuff. Cause the amount of lore drops that have happened within the last 20 seconds is absolutely wild. Remember when I said that Sophia and Marco planned this? Well, it's because Marco then calls in the Denaro family to come in to save him. Everyone then points their guns at Thomas and Cecilia. Cecilia then runs to Marco pretending to still love her. Thomas gets mad at this and just shoots her. This causes everyone to shoot at Thomas, putting an end to a lame villain. Or so we think, as Thomas goes on a rant, calls Sophia Marco's weakness, and shoots her shoulder. Then they finish Thomas. I guess his superpower was tanking bullets, because I don't know how the hell he was still talking after getting shot at multiple times. Sophia then wakes up from her recovery, but the thing is, she has amnesia. Does everyone get amnesia after getting shot at in this universe, bro?
Then you have to promise to stay my Donald for life.
I knew you would forget about me.
Yeah, let me just pretend that I have no recollection of my partner and cause him to be depressed about it. That's hella romantic of me.
Why are you pretending to have amnesia?
I didn't want to be your weakness.
Oh, so you listen to the lunatic that tried to ruin your boyfriend's life? Ah, that makes more sense now. At this point, Marco is a Marco-Donald hybrid, Marnold, if you will. You can easily tell this by the fancy suit he's wearing and the lack of facial hair. Marnold shows Sophia that he renovated her shop and decided to change the location of the casino so all the shops in that area could flourish. He then proposes, she says yes, and they live happily ever after, being completely unaffected by the events that transpired. So yay! Yeah, I'm gonna need therapy after watching this. But with that, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I heard if you do, you will be able to survive a car crash. But please don't go trying that, because bro, I'm not trying to get sued. Be sure to check out my Instagram and my Twitter link down below. I'm trying to grow the Go family as much as possible. Yeah, I'm gonna need a better name for you guys. Well, I'm out. See you later, guys. Bye.